family adventure, that's right. When the sun starts setting, you better be a betting we'll be headed to the old fish fry. Well, a frogging and a strutting and a ducking and a bucking, a family adventure, that's right. TP Outdoors, yeah. Pay it forward, y'all.
TP Outdoors Adventures, brought to you by TP Outdoors in Monroe, Achievers of Louisiana, and these fine sponsors. Closed captioning provided by Brad Bell at American National Insurance. Give Brad a call for all of your homeowner, life, and auto insurance needs.
Welcome to this week's TP Outdoors Adventures. Well, we got something a little different today. We got two of my good friends. We got Andy and Dan Chason. They're here with us, and you probably remember both of these guys. They had an outdoor TV show. How many years ago, Dan?
We started in 1990.
1990, went for about 12 years
12
or so.
years.
And you were how old at 1990?
That'd be what?
You were 8.
8 years old, and he started running the camera about that time, I think.
Yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
And he was the main
For sure,
cameraman.
by 10. So.
He did a lot of editing on Dan Chason Outdoors. Well, Dan's been a friend of mine. I was on his show when he had a show. He's been on my show several times, but we decided to do something a little different. We went out to Texas and went on a turkey hunt. And that's what's going to be on this week's show. But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about Dan's show, because I mean, he's well known in the community for that. He's a well-known gun expert. He works at Lumen Technologies now, and just a great guy, and is well known for being a great outdoorsman. So, Dan, back when your show was running, what was one of your favorite shows to do?
Probably hog hunting. We did a lot of shows with Jerry Bailey down in around
I did
Luna.
one of those one time.
And
but
that was
that
pretty
really
wild.
surprises me, because I thought you would have said fishing, because most of your shows were fishing.
Well, fishing just came so natural to me because I fished every day.
Yeah.
But to do something kind of out of the box. But what most people don't know is when I started the show, I didn't own a boat. I started the fishing show and did not own a boat.
Well, that's the way to do it,
That's
I guess.
faith.
Yeah.
But, and then, they would give me a cameraman on Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. I had 1 hour to get my show.
Yeah,
1 hour.
I understand.
Rain, shine, sleet, or snow.
Didn't matter.
And I kind of figured out pretty quick, I need to find somebody that'll run a camera so I can film someday other than Tuesday, because, the fish bite other days than Tuesday.
You turned that into a career, so now you're basically doing filming and editing and putting together stuff all over the country. So your dad led you in a great direction.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's kind of, I feel like for me, it's divine, right? So God just kind of put it in our path for that to be a thing. I know that for Dad, so he had camera operators, and they would be friends or people that were just interested in tagging along, and their talent was kind of hit or miss, and wherever he was, I was his shadow. So when he went to the studio, I heard his editor at the time was Alan Blakeney, who became a big mentor for me professionally, just complaining about what the guys did wrong. Well, then one day we had a trip scheduled, and the cameraman got sick, and he's like, well, it's you or nothing. So I stepped in, and when we got back to the studio, Alan said, man, this is better than the guy you're paying. And he's like, let's go.
So when he first saw it, he goes, who shot this? I said, is it okay? He goes, it's much better than what the other. I said, and I pointed to the kid sitting there, and he went, you shot this? Yes, sir. But Wayne Gentry was instrumental. Alan Blakeney, Wayne was my first producer that I actually hired to produce the show, because the TV station started doing it. And then when we hired Wayne, we learned a lot of things from Wayne. A lot of good memories, a lot of trips, met a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I really loved the most was the kids.
I understand, and I do that a lot too, and I love the kids. And it's as much about trying to encourage other people to get out and take a kid hunting, or take a wounded warrior, or anybody that doesn't have an opportunity that you have, take them out and let them experience. And I promise you, you'll have more fun on that hunt than you would if you went out there and killed the biggest deer or caught the biggest fish in the water. It's just seeing that smile on their face that means a lot. So,
I got to have that experience for the first time, so I don't normally get to be the guy who's guiding, because I'm usually with him or a person like you, so I'm just along for the ride. And recently I had a friend who had never hunted before, and he wanted to get involved. His name's Desmond Lighton. He owns a business here in town. And so we brought Des out there and took him on his first duck hunt and his first deer hunt. And I will tell you, when he shot that first deer, we were wearing our watches, and they keep track of your heart rate and everything. My heart rate was more elevated than his. It was so awesome.
Remember y'all going because you come by the store. He didn't have a gun.
He didn't
or
have
anything.
anything.
You hooked him up with a gun at the
Bill
store.
loaded him out,
You know,
man.
he was ready to go.
My man.
I need to put my ears in.
My man. Well, congrats, dude.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
All right.
Thank you for putting me on.
All right, well, let's get a picture.
But, you know, we wanted to show a little bit of footage, or at least I did, of some of Dan's shows, but I hear they kind of got destroyed in a fire somehow. That's for another story some other day. So there's no video footage or very little.
Very
Maybe
little.
we can dig up a little bit to play on here to show some scenes.
We've got a little bit that we found. I mean, I've got 8 grandchildren, and my grandchildren never seen my show.
Okay.
I mean, my grandchildren look at me and say, Papa, you used to do a TV show, really? You know, and man, I hate it, but you know, life goes on. But some of the stuff we've got that we did retrieve or did retain is from the old Wobblehead series. And for years, I fished a Wobblehead, and if you watch my show, you know they called me Mr. Wobblehead because I did the promotion. We did the promotional video for Bass Pro Shops for the Wobblehead lures, and it's my go-to thing. And I've caught some humongous fish on it. And I just felt very fortunate when Mike Savage hired us to do that. And in 1996, it was the #1 promotional video for 2 years in Bass Pro. And it was real cool. It was a good experience, great experience.
Hi, folks. I'm Dan Chason, professional fisherman and host of Dan Chason Outdoors. I'm here to introduce to you a lure that I've been using a long time, and I'm very excited about it. And it's called the original Wobblehead. That's a big piece, partner. How you like that one, boys and girls, on a Wobblehead? He boiled up out through that Wobblehead, and he come and got it, buddy. Come here, baby.
Dangerous, Dan. Is he a good one?
Is he a good one?
Have you got him in your hand?
If I got him.
It's Gun Safety Week this week at TP Outdoors Monroe. Louisiana residents care about firearm safety. That's why the state of Louisiana is offering up to $500 tax credit to residents who buy safes, locks, and other gun safety devices. Browning is offering up to $250 rebate now through July 31st, and TP Outdoors Monroe is offering up to $400 in instant in-store rebates. Check out these great deals on Browning safes like this 38 special gun safe that retails for $14.99. It can be yours after rebates and tax credits for a net price of just $351. You heard that right, just $351. Or this 4570 gun safe, regular $24.79, on sale at a net price of just $1,251 after rebates and tax credit. Or this Browning rawhide gun safe that holds up to 70 guns, regular $25.99, yours for a net price of just $13.49 after rebates and tax credits. These are just a few of the great deals this week at TP Outdoors Monroe's Gun Safety Week. The TP Outdoors Adventures Pro staff will be using Buckbuster's fall seed mixes this year to draw in the monster bucks. These mixes not only draw in the deer, but continues to grow next spring and summer to keep your deer close and provide needed nutrition for antler growth next season. And the turkeys, they'll love it too. Check it out, Buckbuster seed mixes at TP Outdoors.
Hey guys, this is Eric, owner of B&E Wholesale at 100 Trenton Street, downtown historic West Monroe, up against the railroad tracks. I wholesale to the public, name brand products at wholesale prices. We have a bargain every day. You never know what I'm gonna get in. Got a truck come every week. Anything from disinfectant to bed and bath to tools. Y'all come and see me. Like I said, wholesale to the public, 100 Trenton Street. Thank y'all.
Let's talk a little bit about this turkey hunt. So Dan, and I guess maybe you'd gone with him for the last couple of years out to Texas and not had great luck. And I've been going to a place, a friend of mine's at Mulberry Creek Outfitters, and he calls an outfitter. He's basically got some property and he lets me come hunt it and lets me bring some friends when I want to. So I invited Dan to come out. He asked if Andy could come. Of course, he could. And we decided to film a little show with it. And of course, the year that I invited y'all, turkey populations are down. There's not many turkeys there. As most places in Texas, it's been a drought out there. So very little hatch from last year or the year before. So you're trying to kill 3-year-old turkeys, which can be very difficult, or older. So there's none of those 2-year-old dumb gobblers running around out there. It makes turkey hunting, make us all look like professionals. So we brought a pro with us to show us how to do the dance.
Yeah, and I warned Bill when we got there. I said, don't turn this boy loose. Because too many times, we had a trip on Davis Island years ago, one of our very first turkey hunts, and we get there, and like it did us on this trip, the bottom fell out, and it rained, and it rained, and it rained. Well, Andy's bebopping in there. He's 12, Dad, we're going turkey hunting. No, I'm not going in that. He videoed himself as he threw the turkey on me while I was sleeping. I said, don't turn this boy loose, and turn him loose we did.
We did. So we got out there, got to the camp, got everything set up, and what did we do? We went and scouted that afternoon?
Yeah, we went and scouted, but back to the drought, well, we cured that. It rained, and normally in kind of mid to West Texas, you think, oh, well, it's going to rain, but it'll stop in a few minutes. Man, Louisiana rained while we were there.
It Forrest Gump rained.
It did. It was coming up from underneath. So that put a stifling on their, they weren't as vocal. And we were trying to hunt in a blind too. And so, as you get older, your mobility is not as great.
Well,
so
it's also, in his
Easier to
defense or
film
my
out of.
defense, it's easier to film out of. That's correct. Especially when you got 3 people trying to.
Let me also say this. That's where they film the rattlesnake roundup in Texas. And the grass is like this. Dan's not walking through that. Sorry.
But we called some birds up, but they got inside that shootable range and just hung up, and it was a little bit frustrating, but it was encouraging. We were hearing birds. We had some action. It just it didn't go the way we wanted that morning.
That's right. But we had a secret out there. A secret tool we brought along with us. Old Dan brought
Old Murray.
Murray, which is a Mojo turkey decoy that Mojo doesn't make anymore. But Murray Crow, a good friend of mine and of y'all's, I think you used to work at Mojo with him during
I
the
worked
time.
at Mojo, and I helped film for Mojo Outdoors TV and Hunting Across America. And then I did a little bit with graphic design for the packaging and stuff. Right. But I got to see Murray in action, and if anybody could be defined as a genius, it's that guy. I mean, he can do anything.
And a great guy.
Right, yeah, just great people.
So we decided to go take a little break, go take an hour and a half lunch, and then come back. And I think he forgot something at the truck. So we went ahead and kept on walking. When we got close to the blind, as you'll see here, we got close, and you spotted him first.
I saw him first, but we had a Jake decoy close to our strutting decoy, and I said, Bill, I think there's a turkey out there. He's like, I think that's that Jake decoy. Well, we took a few more steps and realized as he's on top of the decoy, beating it up, that no, that's a turkey.
He was whooping.
Well, we didn't know the Jake decoy was turned over to the ground. I couldn't see it. It was the gobbler standing there.
He had done whooped the Jake.
And
he had moved on.
I had gone back to the truck, so I'm 75, 100 yards behind them, and I see both of them go to the ground. I went,
uh-oh.
Whoa. So I eased down in behind this mesquite bush, and I saw him start to crawl, and I said, that's a dead turkey.
Well, let me tell you what our conversation was there. I said, we should wait on your dad. He said, heck with that, let's kill this turkey. No, he really didn't say that, but.
Kill him.
Well,
let's kill him.
But you would think someone who has filmed hunting shows and films for a living would be more conscientious of the cameraman in that situation. I forgot Bill was in the world. I started the belly crawl, and at no point did I stop and think, maybe I should wait and see if he can catch up or communicate what's going to happen. I was in full-blown stealth mode, like I was on him.
Well, by the time we saw him, we were 75 yards from him, and you started up, and I said, oh man, I got to run and get some footage. And I thought, well, if I crawl up there, I may spook him, and I can't holler at you to stop because the turkey's too close. So I said, well, I'll just try to get the best I can. And the blind was basically in my way. We were looking through the blind, seeing the turkey. So I'm trying to film, stay low, got the camera up on my head, holding it like this, trying to get some footage. Don't know if it's pointing at the turkey or not. And you're at the same time belly crawling up there trying to get close.
Yeah, and luckily, it was a hindrance to you behind the camera, but for me, I was able to use the blind as a shield. And so I was able to actually get up and kind of crouch walk, just pointing. And when I got to the blind, I kind of peeked up through the window. I could see through 2 windows. And he pops his head up, and I thought, well, if I try to slide to the left, he's going to see me. So I ended up shooting through the blind, and I peppered your brand new
Yeah,
blind.
that's what I was going to say. Good thing I know a good sporting goods store. I get another because, you know, those little rods that go through there, one or two of those may have been broken. So, but anyway, we got the turkey. It was a great hunt.
We got the turkey, and it was, things were starting to look up.
They were.
Good job, my man. We shouldn't have left our decoy out, should we? Or maybe we should have.
Wearing that thing
You
out.
fired
Look how
it.
broken up it is.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lord. I used that blind as a shield and was able to come up on
You
him.
got right there 20 yards from him,
Well,
about, didn't you?
I was afraid if I flanked out from behind the blind that he was gonna see me. I actually shot him through the corner of the blind. Where you been?
Hey, a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Hadn't you ever heard that?
I see you start belly crawling. I said, that's a dead turkey.
It's Gun Safety Week this week at TP Outdoors Monroe. Louisiana residents care about firearm safety. That's why the state of Louisiana is offering up to $500 tax credit to residents who buy safes, locks, and other gun safety devices. Browning is offering up to $250 rebate now through July 31st. And TP Outdoors Monroe is offering up to $400 in instant in-store rebates. Check out these great deals on Browning safes like this 38 special gun safe that retails for $14.99. It can be yours after rebates and tax credits for a net price of just $351. You heard that right, just $351. Or this 4570 gun safe, regular $24.79, on sale at a net price of just $1,251 after rebates and tax credits. Or this Browning Rawhide gun safe that holds up to 70 guns, regular $25.99, yours for a net price of just $13.49 after rebates and tax credits. These are just a few of the great deals this week at TP Outdoors Monroe's Gun Safety Week.
We're proud to introduce the Smith & Wesson CSX, the most innovative metal pistol we've ever built. With a staggering 10+1 and 12+1 9mm round capacity, CSX gives you the ability to carry more rounds than any other metal Micro 9 in its class. Its compact size and durability combine to make CSX your ideal everyday carry. Always expect the best. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans.
Hey guys, this is Eric, owner of B&E Wholesale at 100 Trenton Street, downtown historic West Monroe, up against the railroad tracks. I wholesale to the public, name brand products at wholesale prices. We have a bargain every day. You never know what I'm gonna get in. Got a truck come every week. Anything from disinfectant to bed and bath to tools. Y'all come and see me. Like I said, I wholesale to the public, 100 Trenton Street. Thank y'all.
So the next day, we hunted that morning, I think, for a little while. Same thing, we worked some turkeys, nothing worked. And so we had another property we could go to. And of course, Dan and I decided we wanted to go get some lunch, I think. Well, he said he's not hungry. He wants to go over there and mess around on that property. And after we let him out, somebody told me I'd made a mistake.
I did. I said, you don't turn that boy loose. Don't turn him
Tell us
loose.
what happened.
Well, I'll back up a little bit. So when we went to lunch, Dad went back to the camp. I think you want to take a nap. We were like, well, let's go scout. We'll look at these other properties. And we drove up on two gobblers. And it was just, I mean, we were filming from the truck.
Yeah.
And they're just out there strutting, didn't know that we were in the
forgot
world
about
truck
them. Yeah.
idling. And so you had gotten permission from the property owner previously,
Right.
but just to verify that, it's like, well, let me just call and make sure we're still good. Well, it turns out he had some guys coming and he kind of
Family
changed
coming
his
in,
mind.
you know,
And so he just, so we had to back off of those birds, but we had kind of decided in that moment that maybe we should divide and conquer. So you went to one place, Dad went back where we'd been hunting, and I went to the property that didn't have a blind.
I
to try
went
to
and
be
got in
mobile.
the tent.
Took a nap.
I went and got in the tent.
So I get to the property, and you had told me where the roost was. We had saw a little bit of sign there, but not a lot. But I started on the south end of the property and just kind of worked my way, listening, call periodically, just really didn't hear anything. And so I thought, well, if it's an afternoon hunt, my best bet is to go get near the roost, and eventually they're going to come this way. Right. And so I laid down and did the same thing. I was like, I'll just take a nap. And so I'm laying there, and I'm kind of half asleep, and I hear one gobble about I don't know, 300 yards down the hill, and I just jump up. And about this time, we're texting each other. You had saw something, maybe a hen or something, and I just went dark. So,
no cameraman with you, no camera, so
nothing.
we don't have much or any footage of that. So we're trying to tell a story because you're going to see a turkey at the end of this.
So I hear him, and I was like, well, I've been here before. These educated birds they're older, they're harder to kill. A lot of times you kind of just got to suck the distance up yourself. And so I just went to the thickest stuff and just kept working my way closer and closer. And eventually he got out there about 100 yards, and that was about all he had. He was gobbling one spot, and so I belly crawled, and I kind of did like we did the one at lunch, and I had my hen decoy above my head, and I'm crawling like this, and he liked my slate call better than he liked my diaphragm call. So I'm trying to hold my gun in the slate and the decoy, and I ended up getting him, I think it was like 38 yards is where he ended up stopping and hung up, and man, what is it, federal TSS, is that?
That's correct.
Man. That's different. I'm used to like you trying to shoot like some T-shot, the big pellet, fewer pellets,
Right.
but this was, I think I was shooting 7s.
Right.
And 3-inch number 7s. And when I say graveyard, normally you jump, you gotta go get on the bird. And he was lights out.
Yep.
I was impressed with that round. It was incredible. So I was able to get another bird. So when I finally joined back into the conversation, it was sorry I couldn't respond.
Sent us pictures on our cell phone of his kill. So basically that's what we did on this trip. Dan, what did we kill?
Time.
But, it's not always about killing it.
No, and that's just it. My goal every year, Andy and I have been doing an annual turkey hunt just about every year since he graduated high school. In fact, I went with your brother to Uvalde, Texas for his senior trip.
And Jack Clampett.
Jack didn't make it. It was B-Bob and you're killing me, B-Bob, if I heard that more than once. But it's just something we do every spring. And like you had said, the last 2 years, we had hopped around. We had a regular place that got sold in Texas, so we kind of hopped around and just did not get in a good place. And there was birds where we were. There were birds there, and
they were just older.
They had gray hair.
There's always enough birds to hunt there. Some years are better than the other, as most places in Texas are, and so I don't know what it's going to be this coming year because there wasn't much of a hatch, I think, this year either because it's going to get tougher and tougher until this weather changes. People don't understand how the weather, especially on turkeys, has a big impact on whether you get a good hatch or not.
It's Gun Safety Week this week at TP Outdoors Monroe. Louisiana residents care about firearm safety. That's why the state of Louisiana is offering up to $500 tax credit to residents who buy safes, locks, and other gun safety devices. Browning is offering up to $250 rebate now through July 31st, and TP Outdoors Monroe is offering up to $400 in instant in-store rebates. Check out these great deals on Browning safes like this 38 special gun safe that retails for $14.99. It can be yours after rebates and tax credits for a net price of just $351. You heard that right, just $351. Or this 4570 gun safe, regular $24.79, on sale at a net price of just $1,251 after rebates and tax credit. Or this Browning rawhide gun safe that holds up to 70 guns, regular $25.99, yours for a net price of just $13.49 after rebates and tax credits. These are just a few of the great deals this week at TP Outdoors Monroe's Gun Safety Week. The TP Outdoors Adventures Pro staff will be using Buckbuster's fall seed mixes this year to draw in the monster bucks. These mixes not only draw in the deer, but continues to grow next spring and summer to keep your deer close and provide needed nutrition for antler growth next season. And the turkeys, they'll love it too. Check it out, Buckbuster seed mixes at TP Outdoors.
The new Shield Plus. Now introducing 3.1-inch optics-ready models with night sights. Carry 13+1 rounds of 9mm in extended magazines or 10+1 rounds in a flush fit magazine. A short, crisp trigger break for a more uniform and consistent press. Engineered to give you the best performance in a micro-compact size. M&P Shield Plus, the next evolution in everyday carry. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans.
But the first thing I thought about though when I shot that second turkey back to Wobblehead was there was. I'll let you tell the wobblehead story. So what happened?
We were filming at Henderson Lake with Wynn Barnett, and Wynn was owned the lure company, and we were going to film stuff on his lure, on his spinnerbait. And we fished and fished and fished, nothing. I mean, not even a bite. Well, I got disgusted, and Andy's in the back of the boat. Dad, can I fish? I said, well, yeah. And I reached in there. I had a wobblehead tied on a rod, and I reached and handed it to him. And I turned around, I got one. And I turn around and look, and he's got about a 4-pound fish. And I'm like, well, that's good, son. You know, congratulations, man. I'm proud of you, boy. I turned back around, and I hadn't even reached down to pick up another rod. I got another one. Well, I just turned around, grabbed the camera, handed it to Wynn. I said, hit record. I said, I guess we're going to call this show Andy Puts It On Us. Because, you know, when he got the fish on, I grabbed the camera to, you know, get the footage of it. If nothing else, because it's my son. But we named the show Andy Puts It On Us because he had 2 pros out there, and he picks up the old wobblehead and puts it on us.
That's 2 fish in about 5 minutes, both good fish. Look at that. Boy, you supposed to be working the camera and you throwing a wobble worm wearing us out, huh? Look at me. That's my boy, folks. Good gracious. I've created a monster, folks. Y'all join us.
In the family.
Yeah.
One of the best compliments a man can have is that his son becomes better at something that he loves than what you are.
I didn't say he was better.
Well, I did. I said it right now. Come on, I said it.
He's a better turkey hunter than I am. He's a better overall hunter than I am. Because
I just think I'm madder at him.
Yeah.
Well, he's tenacious. Like, we'll be in the duck blind, and if the ducks are hitting down in the corner in skinny water, he'll go over there and lay up on the bank to make sure that he gets his limit. He's not going home now. He's worse than Phil Robertson. He ain't gonna leave without getting his limit.
Well, it was a great trip, and I really enjoyed it, and enjoyed the time I got to spend with you gentlemen, and hopefully we'll do it again sometime.
Well, I'll do it again because you're a great host.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think I've been catered to like that ever.
I've been to 5-star facilities that we were treated any better.
Well, I enjoy
good.
cooking. I enjoy taking care of guys when they go hunting with me, you know, and making sure they have a good time, and that's part of the enjoyment, is getting to see people have
Bill
a good time.
furnishes the elk is the best part.
Oh, man.
Well, it's almost that time again, so I'm ready to go get some more elk so we can go next year and have it. So.
But I wanted to thank the people that supported us over the years. You know, I've been an outdoor writer now for 35 years. I write for Bayou Life magazine every month. Check us out there. We're still got our finger in the pool, but we're not as near as serious about it as I used to be. But we appreciate the support and the kind words that you send, and hopefully we'll keep doing it till they run us off.
Same here. I'll keep trying to keep the legacy going and keep some good footage going and some good hunts, man. I enjoyed it, and I appreciate y'all doing everything you do for me. Y'all tune in next week for another TP Outdoor Adventures.
Thanks for watching TP Outdoors Adventures, brought to you by Achievers of Louisiana and TP Outdoors Monroe.